I feel sad, lonely, and angry all the time.
For all the amount of media and amount of things that they have at their disposal, cell phones, texting, so forth, there seems to be an increasing amount of isolation in these kids, which is kind of a paradox, that you would think they'd be more connected, but they actually feel lonelier and more isolated.
And before they're even in first grade, they have exposure to images, sights, sounds, a level of exposure to all kinds of behaviors that we used to really think of as adult business.
My daughter started cutting herself. I mean, what do you do?
There are more stressors, there's more anxiety disorders, there is more depression, and there's more self-injurious behaviors. Not only suicide, but kids that are crying out for help.
It just becomes so painful. In your mind, it becomes numb, and everything around you becomes numb, and your body's in so much pain.
More and more kids are falling through the cracks in the system, and that without proper treatment, the effects on the family and the child could be devastating.
She didn't want to live. She kept saying, "Let me die." I didn't understand what was going on.
Well, it affects the parents, it affects the siblings. Some parents can't go to work because they get called every single day from school because of behaviors.
One night, I was hearing and feeling and seeing things all at once, and it was really scary.
The kids that we work with don't have a sense of feeling competent as a human being. Really what we're trying to do is help kids and their families have hope that that's not a permanent situation, and it doesn't have to be a permanent situation.
So we need to provide better access to care. We need to make sure that these kids, when they come in seeking help, that we are able to see them in a timely manner and help them and give them the treatment they need, as well as have supports for the family to help maybe other kids if there's problems going on, or the parents learning how to deal with this.
That's what we're trying to do, is to throw a light on the need for more supply to meet the demand for mental health problems among children and adolescents.
And so we're here to try to be able to provide those services for families regardless of what they're able to pay.
I've yet to see a child that you say, there's nothing to do. He's a goner. That does not exist. Kids like that don't exist at all.
Probably one of the most important things we provide for these families is hope. We show them that there can be a better life out there for them, and we show them that there's someone who cares.
The Child Guidance Center was founded in 1956 in downtown San Antonio by a school teacher named DeRosette Thomas, who donated her home to serve as the agency's first home. And the purpose was to make sure that any family in San Antonio that was concerned about the emotional health of their children had a place to come and get quality mental health services regardless of family income. The Child Guidance Center has been carrying out that mission since 1956, and we're still doing it today.
Southwest Mental Health Center is one of the oldest nonprofit organizations in the state of Texas. We've been around since 1886. The mission has stayed the same throughout, and that's helping kids that have serious problems.
All the children and the adolescents that come to the Child Guidance Center are coming to get relief from the problems that they're encountering in life. If we can ease that suffering that the child and the families that is experiencing through quality outpatient mental health care intervention, if we can make a slight difference in their orientation and the way they're going, and by the time they get to be 21, we've made a huge difference in how they're going to be able to function for the rest of their lives.
We take care of an age range of kids from 3 to 17. What we provide for the families and for the kids here is a safe place, a home, in many ways away from home. The more home-like, the more caring environment we can provide, then we're setting up a situation where we can really make a difference and do some therapy and make progress with the kids. When Ed and I sat down, we really started talking about what things were similar as opposed to different between the two organizations. And when we looked back at reasons to get together, obviously the first one was we were both in good financial condition. We both provided good services to kids. We were both affiliates of the University of Texas Health Science Center, the psychiatry department. We trained everybody from medical students to residents to child and adolescent fellows from their program.
It just makes sense when you would look at it to see, here's a premier inpatient facility in San Antonio, here's the premier outpatient facility in San Antonio. They're less than a mile apart. Surely we can get some synergisms by putting these two groups together.
One of the important things in looking at this merger was coming up with a name. What is it that we want to provide for the patients, for the families, for the community? The term that came up was they're looking for clarity. We really decided to combine the two ideas, the Clarity and the Child Guidance Center. And so the new organization, we came up with the name Clarity Child Guidance Center.
And we believe that this is going to represent to the community the expanded services that we're going to be able to offer to the children and families of our community.
Our merger, the whole discussion of that, has been approved by United Way, and so we will remain a United Way agency. And we have a pretty high goal of the number of children that we want to be able to serve. And we'll be the largest children's mental health facility in this part of Texas. More kids, more families that are in need will be able to get that help, and hopefully they'll be able to get it even closer to their home.
We have created in this merger, and will create in this merger, a powerhouse of children's mental health services.
We can really make a difference in children's and families' lives.